Good morning. Time for convening has arrived. Senate will come to order. Recognize the freshly haircut of, that's a fresh haircut you got right there, buddy. Senator from the 6th.
Good morning, Mr. President. Yes, the head feels a little lighter, a little more aerodynamic. I think I could probably run a 4.440 right now. Maybe a 4.420. Maybe. Mr. President, we got a great list of pages, but before I get into that, welcome back. I hope you're feeling better. You look great. Mr. President, out of Athens, Georgia, we have Benjamin Brown. Out of Sewanee, we have Maya Davis. From Gainesville, we have Wyatt Elliott. From East Point, we have Asim Hill. From Smyrna, we have the Jordan brothers and Aaron and William Jordan. From Temple, we have Carly Kissling. From Powder Springs, we have the Menjivar sisters and Stephanie and Valeria. From Dallas, we have Ainsley Nat. From Haddock, Georgia, we have Addison Pettigrew. From Rex, we have Nisi Roy. And from Marietta, we have Fia Storino. Y'all give these pages a big round of applause. We appreciate y'all being here, helping us do the people's business in the Georgia State Senate. Mr. President, the journal has been read and found to be correct.
All right. Thank you, Senator. Appreciate that. And thank you for all the pages for being here today. We appreciate all your hard work, taking the time out of school to come and be with us today. Is there objection to dispensing of the reading of the journal? Chair hears none. The reading of the journal is dispensed with. Is there objection to the confirmation of the journal? Chair hears none. The journal is confirmed. All senators who have bills and resolutions to introduce, please bring them to the Secretary's desk. First reading and references to Senate bills and resolutions. Secretary.
Senate Bill 328 by Senator Strickland of the 42nd and others. Bills being titled Act to amend.
State and local government.
Senate Bill 329 by Senator Strickland of the 42nd and others.
State and local government.
Senate Resolution 371 by Senator Brass of the 6th and others. A resolution honoring the life of investigator Eric Anthony Minks and dedicating
Transportation.
Senate Resolution 372 by Senator Kirkpatrick of the 32nd
Health and
and
Human
others.
Services.
Senate Resolution 376 by Senator Parent of the 44th and others. A resolution.
Rules.
Mr. President, that completes the order.
First reading and references to House bills.
House Bill 514 by Representative Seabaugh of the 34th and others. Bills being titled an act to amend an act providing a new
State
charter
and local government.
House Bill 548 by Representative Green of the
State and local government.
House Bill 587 by Representative Gamble, the 15th and
State
others.
and local government.
House Bill 623 by Representative Smith at 18th and others. Bills being titled an act.
State and local government.
House Bill 624 by Representative Smith at 18th and others. Bills being titled
State
an
and
act.
local government.
House Bill 685 by Representative Gamble, the 15th and others.
State and local government.
House Bill 697 by Representative Tarvin of the 2nd and others.
State and local government.
House Bill 698 by Representative Tarvin of the 2nd and others. Bills being titled an act to provide a homestead exemption from Walker County School District out of Orem taxes for educational purposes.
State and local government.
House Bill 703 by Representative Bonner of the 73rd and others. Bills being titled an act to amend an act to provide.
State and local government.
Mr. President, that completes the order.
Secretary will read reports of standing committees.
Mr. President, the Senate Committee on Finance has had under consideration the following legislation and instructed me to report the same back to the Senate with the following recommendation. House Bill 90 do pass. House Bill 141 do pass. House Bill 223 do pass by substitute. House Bill 290 do pass. House Bill 32 do pass. House Bill 42 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Senator Hostetler of the 52nd District Chairman. Mr. President, the Senate Committee on Health and Human Services has had under consideration the following legislation, has instructed me to report the same back to the Senate with the following recommendation. House Bill 89 do pass. House Bill 352 do pass by committee substitute. House Bill 473 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Senator Watson, 1st District Chairman. Mr. President, the Senate Committee on Judiciary has had under consideration the following legislation, has instructed me to report the same back to the Senate with the following recommendation. House Bill 55 do pass by substitute. House Bill 176 do pass. House Bill 180 do pass. House Bill 199 do pass by substitute. House Bill 406 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Senator Strickland, the 42nd District Chairman. Mr. President, Senate Committee on Public Safety has had under consideration the following legislation and has instructed me to report the same back to the Senate with the following recommendation. House Bill 296 to pass. House Bill 423 to pass. Respectfully submitted, Senator Albers of 56th District Chairman. That completes the order, Mr. President.
It is now time for the morning roll call. Are there any motions to excuse? Recognize the senator from the 33rd.
Thank you, Mr. President, and welcome back. Good to see you have some color and tone.
Appreciate that, Senator.
You're welcome, sir. Ask for unanimous consent to excuse the senators from the 21st and the 5th and the 36th. 26.
21st, 26th, and what's the other one?
36 for business inside the Capitol.
Did you say the 5th as well, too, Senator?
5th, yes, sir.
So 21, 26, 36, and 5.
Sounds like some of your old college signals, huh?
I don't know, man. I don't know if they were that good. All right. Recognize senator from the 11th.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask for unanimous consent to excuse the senator from the 16th.
The objection, senator from the 16th is excused. Recognize senator from the 31st.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask for unanimous consent to excuse the senator from the 30th.
Senator from the 30th. The objection, senator from the 30th is excused. Senator from the 41st. Recognize senator from the 41st.
Yes, I ask for unanimous consent to excuse the senator from the 44th.
From 44th is excused. Senator from the 8th. Senator from the 8th. You know, I'm still a little upset with you from Friday night when you had me bid on a duck hunt out in Nebraska, of all places. I didn't know there was any ducks in Nebraska. And I ended up winning the duck hunt, too. In Nebraska. I mean, never heard of it. Senator from the 23rd, you want to go on that duck hunt? I won the, unfortunately, I won the bid, yeah. Unfortunately. All right. It is now time for morning roll call. Motions to excuse, we've already done that. Secretary will call the roll. Senator, signify your presence by voting the yay switch. Secretary, Senator from the 24th, what purpose do you rise?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
were you the only one that bidded on the dunk hunt?
No, I thought we were bidding on a quail hunt because he was handling the auction. I thought we were bidding on a quail hunt down at Southwind or something, right? And next thing I know, several $1,000s later, when they announced the winner, they said duck hunt in Nebraska. And I said, my goodness. It was for the worthy cause, though, right? It was for the children. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, Secretary will unlock the signify your presence by voting the yay switch. See, it's got me all messed up right now still, thinking about spending that money on a duck hunt in Nebraska. So, Secretary, unlock the roll. It is now time for our morning devotion. All senators, please take your seats and cease all conversation. I would ask that the doorkeepers secure the chamber at this time. Now, recognize the senator from the 39th to lead us in our pledge and introduce our chaplain of the day. Senator?
Good morning, colleagues. First, we'll do the pledge to the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Georgia flag. I pledge allegiance to the Georgia flag and to the principles for which it stands, wisdom, justice, moderation, and courage. Good morning. Well, it gives me great privilege to introduce you to Bishop Arthur F. Mosley, who is an international speaker and educator. He delivers a message of hope, inspiration, and unity, and is committed to the training and development of others in their quest to reach their full potential. Bishop Mosley is a family man, married to evangelist Sheila Mosley, proud father of 2 daughters, and pop-pop to a precious granddaughter, Macy Elaine. He is the pastor of the Cathedral of Faith Church of God in Christ in Atlanta and an adjunct professor at Georgia Piedmont Technical College, where he teaches humanities, world religion, and skills for college success. As a passion, Bishop Mosley travels the world conducting pastors and leaders conferences, holding training and development workshops, and providing staples to those in need. His work has touched several countries, including Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria, Thailand, London, Malaysia, Indonesia, Solomon Islands, and Barbados, and of course, right here at home. In addition to the international presence, Dr. Mosley has served on several noteworthy and local platforms, including chaplain for the Fulton County Police Department and the Georgia State Senate, preached and taught in the Georgia branch of the federal prison system, and was the speaker on the African American perspective on Israel at a press conference hosted by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. He is Bishop of the Barbados First West Indies Jurisdiction, Superintendent of the Light of the World District, Administrative Assistant for the North Central Georgia Jurisdiction, and Chairperson of the Kojic World Missions ME Convention. Please join me in welcoming Bishop Mosley.
Good morning to the President, Sonia Harpin, to all of you who make up this Senate and those who are here as guests. I want to share with you text from Matthew 14, verses 28 to 30. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. I use this passage this morning to encourage you to stay focused in the storm. Here in Georgia, we are familiar with storms. In fact, recently, we had a snowstorm. We even had the experience of a hurricane in 2024, September. There's the forecast for the weather to be stormy this weekend. However, storms are not restricted to weather systems. That is, we do have and we encounter, experience, and go through storms in our lives. Life's storms are things like illness. I'm personally going through the storm with the passing of my brother just this past Saturday. Life storms includes divorces, financial crisis, stress, unfounded criticism. It's easy to become distracted in enduring a storm. Your attention and focus can be pulled, causing us to be less effective and stable when we need it the most. So I want to encourage you to remain focused in the storm. Our text focuses this morning on the disciples who have obeyed Jesus. Obedience does not keep us out of the storm. Jesus told them, go, get in the boat, go ahead of me to the other side. Jesus sends the multitude away, goes into a mountain and pray, but the disciples find themselves in a severe and destructive storm. They're in the middle of the sea. The boat is being tossed by the waves. The winds are contrary, not working with them to get them to their destination, but opposing, antagonistic, hostile. There are times that we meet forces that are working against our progress. In this harsh and unpleasant environment, in the darkest hour, they see a figure coming towards them, walking on the sea in the storm. The Bible says they were troubled. But Jesus brings calmness to them. He brings calmness to their storm, first of all saying to them, be of good cheer, it is I. In other words, have confidence, have assurance, because my presence is with you. If we focus on his presence being with us, we can make it through any storm. Peter asked, and he's granted permission to get out of the boat, walk on the water, to go to Jesus. Peter does well as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus. My brothers, my sisters, you will do well in whatever your calling is, whatever your responsibilities are. You will do well as long as you keep your eyes on Jesus. I close with this. I know your assignment becomes challenging. I know your assignment becomes difficult, trying, stressful, demanding, taxing, and tough. Again, I encourage you, keep your eyes on Jesus. He'll strengthen you. He'll help you. He'll lift you. He'll empower you. He'll bring you through. He'll sustain you. And like Peter, he will rescue you. My 5 minutes are up. I will have to pray for you in my private. Oh, I'll be given extra time. Wow. I must have done all right. Let us pray. Lord, we all have storms. We all face storms. We even have storms we don't talk about. We have individual storms. We have family storms. We have storms that we're facing together as a state, as a nation. Help us in the storm. Bring us through and bring us out of the storm. Most of all, help us to keep our eyes on you, staying focused on you with prayer, with your word, with devotional time. And as the psalmist declares, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills from which cometh my help. Even in the storm, my help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. Bless these men and women as they serve in spite of their storms. In Jesus' name, amen.
It's always nice to have our doctors of the day, and we always appreciate our physicians coming down here and donating their time down here at the Capitol. And today I'd like to recognize the senator from the 45th to introduce our doctor of the day. Senator?
Thank you, Mr. President. It's my honor to introduce the doctor of the day. We've got Dr. Rabin Rojas with us from Northeast Georgia Medical Center. She is a distinguished physician, educator, and leader in the field of preliminary and critical care medicine with a steadfast commitment to addressing health disparities and improving community health outcomes in the state of Georgia. A graduate from Ross University of Medicine in 2008, Dr. Rojas has dedicated over a decade to advancing patient care, medical education, and health equality advocacy. Her leadership in North Georgia Health System included serving as chair of the Department of Medicine and director of critical care and medicine and fellowship program roles, which she has shaped the future of medicine education, directly impacting the care of diverse patients and populations. She also serves as director of medical intensive care unit curriculum at graduate medical education, fostering the development of resident physicians across specialty areas here in the state of Georgia. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you Dr. Rojas.
Thank you very much for allowing myself and my medical resident, Dr. Kalu, to be here. It has been our pleasure to serve the community, and today it is our pleasure to serve you guys as you do the important work that you do. So thank you for having us.
All right, we've got a good group up in the balcony here and behind me. Linemen from all over the state here today. So, Secretary, read the caption.
Senate Resolution 253 by Senator Kennedy of the 18th and others, a resolution recognizing March 11th, 2025 as Georgia Lineman Day and for other purposes. Whereas Georgia's linemen are dedicated professionals who work tirelessly to ensure that electrical power is restored to homes and communities during times of crisis, often under dangerous and challenging conditions. And whereas more than 8,000 men and women worked long hours in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, often in high winds and rain, demonstrating extraordinary courage, resilience, and commitment to their communities, as well as ensuring that power was restored as quickly and safely as possible to support recovery efforts. And whereas the swift and efficient restoration of electrical services by Georgia's linemen during and after Hurricane Helene was critical in enabling the recovery process, and whereas Georgia's linemen continue to be instrumental in maintaining the state's electrical infrastructure and responding to emergencies, now therefore be it resolved by the Senate that the members of this body recognize March 11, 2025 as Georgia Lineman Day to honor and celebrate the exceptional efforts of Georgia's linemen, past and present, and their ongoing commitment to public service and protection of our state's residents. Mr. President, that completes the order.
Is there objection to the adoption of the resolution? Chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. Recognize the pro tem to speak to the resolution. Senator from the 18th. Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning. It's great to see you all. It's a special day for us to get to recognize some special people. I'll tell you where the idea of this came from. I, like many of y'all, the day after Hurricane Helene hit, was riding down to the area that was so devastated. I was headed down to Adrian, Georgia, my little hometown, riding down I-16, and the trucks were headed down there already to go take care of the folks that had been so hit and hurt by the storm. And I'd ride by the trucks, and I'd kind of look up and get their attention and give them a quick salute and a thank you, and many times they'd respond, and I knew these guys were heading in not to the eye of the storm, but the eye of the trouble and the pain of Georgians who were being affected and had been so severely affected. And it crossed my mind, you know, we're so grateful the day of the storm and the days after when they show up to take care of us, but we kind of forget about them after that, because once the storm goes and the electricity's back on and your services are back on, things are back to normal. But the truth is, we needed to have a Lineman's Day, and that's where the idea came from, and I'm glad you're here to celebrate Lineman's Day at the Capitol. You know, these guys and ladies really are the backbone of our energy infrastructure. They brave the storms, the flooding, dangerous temperature, long nights to ensure that our homes are lit, that we're kept safe and warm in those most darkest of hours. You know, most recently, as I said, we saw this firsthand in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene with all that came and the damage that was left in its wake. You know, these guys and ladies don't seek recognition either during the time or after, but they absolutely deserve it. So let's let today be a reminder of the critical role that they play in powering our state and the sacrifices that they make, the personal sacrifices that they make to leave their families to come take care of us and make sure that we as Georgians stay strong and resilient. We've got some great folks on the rostrum with us. James Adam is a training and safety specialist with Electric Cities of Georgia. James spent 14 straight days in the field to ensure that power was restored. Charlie Purcell is up here with us, utility director for the city of Douglas. He's a lineman at heart, and Charlie led his team through 29 grueling days of nonstop work ensuring the city's recovery. Randy Knight's up here with us with Altamaha EMC. He worked 15-hour days, folks, restoring power. His own family remained without electricity for 15 days while he was out taking care of the rest of us. Derek Hodge, a crew leader and a lineman with 17 years of experience, was working from 46,000 volts to up to 500,000 volts across this state. Josh Pace is with us. He's a crew leader in Smyrna distribution area with 10 years of service. Josh plays a critical role in powering major customers from Dobbins Air Force Base to Truist Park. And Waylon Hasty started his career with Georgia Power at age 18 that eventually led him to create the Elite Lineman Training Institute in 2019, which is instrumental in reshaping and shaping and teaching the next generation of linemen that will be taking care of us, our children, and our grandchildren. In addition to the 6 folks on the rostrum with us, we've got a gallery full of folks. I want to ask all of you that are here for Lineman's Day to please stand and let us give you a great Senate thank you and a welcome for what you've done for us. Thank you for that. Listen, I asked if any of these guys wanted to say anything, and just like they take care of us, they come, they do the job, they don't want the recognition, and they go home after we have been taken care of by them. So thank you for the recognition and helping us recognize these men and women who take care of us in the darkest of times. And with that, Mr. President, I'll yield the rostrum.
we have some very special guests from the Shepherd Center here in Atlanta, and we have the family and leadership here with us, and what a special place that is, and taking care of so many people through the years, and we're celebrating 50 years of Shepherd Center being in existence here in the state of Georgia. So, Secretary, read the caption, please.
Senate Resolution 149 by Senator Halpern of the 39th and others, resolution recognizing and commending the Shepherd Center upon its 50th anniversary and for other purposes. Whereas the Shepherd Center was founded in Atlanta, Georgia as a private not-for-profit hospital on August 18, 1975, and whereas the Shepherd Center mission is to help individuals with temporary or permanent disabilities caused by injury or disease rebuild their lives, and whereas the Shepherd Center has made a profound impact on the citizens of Georgia and countless individuals worldwide by providing personalized rehabilitation and medical care. Now, therefore, be resolved by the Senate, the members of this body recognize and commend the Shepherd Center upon its 50th anniversary and extend sincere best wishes for continued success. Mr. President, that completes the order.
Is there objection to the adoption of resolution? Chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. Recognize the senator from the 39th to speak to the resolution.
Good morning. Well, today we commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Shepherd Center, a place of hope and healing that has transformed countless lives. Before I begin, let me first acknowledge those on the rostrum with me, including members of the Shepherd family. Jamie Shepherd, CEO, Alana Shepherd, the visionary founder, Julie Shepherd, founding family member, Sarah Batts, Executive Director of the Center's Foundation, and Clark Dean, Board Member and Chair-elect. Founded in 1975, this institution began as a 6-bed unit in Atlanta, born from the personal journey of the Shepherd family. When James Shepherd sustained a spinal cord injury in 1973, his parents confronted the scarcity of specialized rehabilitation in the Southeast. Their determination led to the creation of a facility dedicated to comprehensive care for spinal cord injuries and related conditions. Under their visionary leadership, the Shepherd Center has evolved into a world-renowned 152-bed hospital, annually serving over 700 inpatients and 7,000 outpatients. Its patient and family-centered approach not only addresses physical rehabilitation, but also empowers individuals to envision and embrace fulfilling futures beyond their injuries. The center's commitment to excellence has earned it a place among the nation's top rehabilitation hospitals. Its pioneering research and specialized programs have set new standards in the treatment of spinal cord and brain injuries, multiple sclerosis, and chronic pain. As we reflect on the 5 decades of service, we honor the unwavering commitment of Alana Shepherd, who at 94 continues to inspire and lead. Her relentless advocacy has not only shaped the Shepherd Center, but has also profoundly impacted the broader landscape of disability rights and rehabilitation. This center stands as a testament to the power of compassion, innovation, and community. Here's to 50 years of unparalleled service and to the enduring legacy of the Shepherd Center. And I will now introduce you to Jamie Shepherd.
Thank you, Senator Halpern. Appreciate that introduction. On behalf of our 1,800 employees, just want to say thank you for this recognition. We're honored to be here. We've accomplished a lot in the first 50 years, going from, as you heard, a 6-bed facility, leased space in another facility, to the nation's premier hospital treating brain injury, spinal cord injury, multiple sclerosis, and other neurological conditions. As excited as we are about the first 50, we're even more excited about the next 50. We've got campus expansion going on, and we're going to be able to help even more people in the near future. So thank you for this recognition, and here's to the next 50 years. Thank you.
We have some very special guests here today. The family of Jeremy LeBlanc. He was a young man that was cut down way too short out of Roswell, Georgia, a law enforcement officer out of Roswell. We have his family here with us today, and I'm going to recognize the senator from the 56 to recognize the family and speak to resolution that he has prepared for them. Senator?
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate and all those that are in attendance today, we're joined by the wife, parents, family members, colleagues of Roswell police officer Jeremy Labonte. Some of them are behind me and some are in the gallery today. This young man, 24 years young, made the last measure of devotion for our community, and he will be forever remembered. Joined with us as well is Roswell Mayor Kurt Wilson, Police Chief Jim Conroy, as well as many of the officers in the gallery and behind me, as well as many of our finest here at the state. Working alongside of the senator from the 14th and the senator from the 21st, and all of you unanimously passed the resolution that will rename Georgia 400 and Holcomb Bridge Road as the Officer Jeremy Labonte Interchange. One of the busiest, not just in Georgia, but in the Southeast, that will forever remember his life and his legacy. I'm honored to present a flag that has been flown over the Georgia State Capitol to his family today. On behalf of a grateful state, I'm going to ask everyone to please rise. For everyone who has ever served as a first responder or in the military, please join me in saluting this family. God bless you. Thank you.
We are excited to have one of our own, Georgia grown and one of a proud Georgia Bulldogs, University of Georgia grad, and now newly Super Bowl champion here with us today, Mr. Nolan Smith, who gave us a lot of excitement at his days at UGA, and we've made us very proud up there in Philadelphia playing for the Eagles right now, which seems like it's UGA Part 2 with all the Georgia guys up there. But we're glad to have him. And Secretary, read the resolution, please.
Senate Resolution 239 by Senator Mallow II and others, a resolution honoring the inspiring journey and achievements of Nolan Sentinel Smith Jr. and for other purposes. Whereas Nolan Sentinel Smith Jr., born January 18, 2001 in Savannah, Georgia, has shown the world what it means to dream big, work relentlessly, and rise above every challenge in pursuit of greatness. Whereas Nolan's college career at the University of Georgia helped the Bulldogs secure back-to-back college football playoff national championships. And whereas Nolan's dream of playing in the NFL became a reality when he was selected by the Philadelphia Eagles in the first round of the 2023 NFL Draft. And whereas beyond the field, Nolan has touched countless lives through his dedication to inspiring and mentoring others, particularly through the Nolan Smith Foundation. Now therefore be it resolved by the Senate that the members of this body honor Nolan Sentinel Smith for his extraordinary accomplishments, heart for service, and unwavering commitment to others, as well as wish him continued success and fulfillment in all of his endeavors. Mr. President, that completes the order.
Is there objections to the adoption of the resolution? Chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. Calling our senator from Savannah, Georgia, senator from the 2nd, to speak to the resolution. Senator?
Thank you, Mr. President. This morning, colleagues, I rise to honor a great Savannian and Nolan Smith, Super Bowl champion, two-time dog, UGA champion here, and it's exciting that he stopped by our chamber today to be recognized on the floor of this body for his accomplishments in Georgia and what he does. His foundation is very active in Savannah. He does great work for our community, so he's not someone that has risen to fame and forgotten about the hometown and the community he grew up in, and so I'm just honored to have him with us today. And also, Mr. President, I do have a resolution from Governor Kemp, a commendation for Nolan Smith. He could not be here today, but he did send a commendation. I always want to acknowledge Governor Kemp, and I appreciate this body and the support of my colleagues. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. Thank y'all. First of all, I just wanted to thank God. I wouldn't be here without him. I wouldn't be here without his blessings. I wouldn't be here without his glory. Second of all, I just wanted to thank the state of Georgia for this amazing honor. Truly, truly it is. And as a kid growing up in Savannah, Georgia, I would never think I'd make it to the Capitol. And I just wanted to tell y'all, thank y'all. And the last thank you I'm going to give is to my mom. My mom does a lot for me. She does everything. And I just wanted to thank her for allowing me to be here. And she's always got my back, even right now, even in the Capitol. And most definitely, thank you to Mr. Burns, Mr. Richards, for helping my foundation becoming what it is, and just allowing me from Savannah to come up here to Atlanta, meet some great people, shake the right hands, and do the right thing. And most definitely, lastly, go Dogs.
All right, we've got a number of more special guests here today. We've got a plate full today. So, Secretary, read the caption, please.
Senate Resolution 193 by Senator Jones of the 10th and others, a resolution recognizing and commending Troy Taylor and for other purposes. Whereas in 2009, inspired by his global travels, he founded Zuccotti Gallery in Atlanta's Castleberry Hill neighborhood, transforming a dirt floor commercial space into a contemporary fine arts gallery. And whereas Troy Taylor partnered with the Henderson brothers in 2012 to rebrand Zuccotti Gallery with a primary focus on the works of living African-American artists, and whereas Zuccotti Gallery has since grown into the largest African-American fine arts gallery in the southeastern United States, now therefore be it resolved by the Senate that members of this body recognize and commend Troy Taylor, founder of Zuccotti Gallery, for his many outstanding contributions on behalf of the arts, as well as extend best wishes for continued success. Mr. President, that completes the order.
Is there objection to the adoption of the resolution? Chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. I recognize the senator from the 10th to speak to the resolution and introduce our special guest.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I'm glad to be joined by the senator from the 39th. I am excited to share with you some of my really good friends who's doing something incredible in our great state. First, let me say that we are joined by the owners of Zuccotti Gallery, which is the largest African-American owned gallery in the southeastern part of the United States. I am joined behind me is Troy Taylor, Omari Henderson, and Onaje Henderson. These three men are the founders of Zuccotti Gallery, which is right here in downtown Atlanta, over near the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Their friends are Miss Anastasia Clark, Vernon Taylor, Jordan Taylor, and Bob McNeil, who's joined them as well. Just let me share a few words with you about my good friend Troy Taylor and the many things that he and the Hendersons have done. After earning his BS and MS degree in aerospace engineering from Penn State and the University of Pennsylvania, Troy began his professional career as an engineer working with NASA on the manned space program. Don't ask me how he went from NASA to owning an art gallery. I'm sure he would tell us. His interest in art, however, began during his sophomore year when he landed a summer job with Bruce McGow Graphics at a fine art poster repair clerk. As his career in corporate America grew, so did his passion for collecting art. His current work in the healthcare industry takes him all over the world, from Europe and Asia, Japan, Latin America, India, and even the Middle East on a regular basis. And most of the gallery collections, with the addition of multicultural American art and pieces by local Atlanta artists, stem from the relationship that he has developed with artists and galleries throughout the world. The striking high-tech design and amenities of the gallery combine their dual interest in art and engineering. Thank you, Troy. He believes that art and science are similar in that, like science, art is not random. There's an order in each discipline, rules of composition and technique that creates a beautiful, balanced product. Please allow me to introduce to you my friend, Troy Taylor, one of the founding members of Zuccotti Gallery, for a few words.
Thank you, Senator Jones, and thank you to the co-sponsors and the Georgia State Senate for this honor of this resolution. Like all things, you never get there by yourself. There's an old saying, no man's an island, or no person's an island, and certainly I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the work, the friendship, and the education of my partners, Onaje Henderson and Omari Henderson, who are really the driving force behind the success of the gallery. I also would like to recognize the artists who, through their incredible capabilities, are able to encapsulate moments in time, history, things that are important to us on a piece of canvas or in a sculpture, such that that piece can be collected and brought to the future for people to know what our generation or what our story is all about. I'd also like to recognize my life partner, Anastasia Clark, who stuck with me through the good times and the challenging times. I also like to recognize Juliet Kilby, who's not here, who got me into the art business. And also I'd like to recognize Devin Taylor and Jordan Taylor, my daughters, who are the co-founders and CEOs of the Troy Taylor Fan Club. At Zuccotti Gallery, we believe in two principal things. One is what you hang on your walls is a representation of you. It's a window into your beliefs, your convictions, the things that you find important. And so as a gallery, we help individuals curate and explain who they are, what they're about, through the types of artwork they put on their walls at their office, their homes, and in their businesses. The second thing that we are very proud about is that as an art collector, you become somewhat of a custodian of culture. Because these iconic pieces that are created by these magnificent artists represents a society's or a culture that has been documented over time. I know my partner's going to get me on this one, but for example, we didn't know that, or part of how we knew that the ancient cavemen used to eat deer and antelope is that the first artist painted it on the walls of the cave. And so that's how we know today that that's what they did. And so as an art collector, you have the awesome responsibility of being a custodian of culture and being able to communicate to the future the things that are important to us. There's always a narrative and a story behind each piece, and I welcome all of you and the folks of the state of Georgia to come visit us, see the artwork, and have an experience with collecting art and becoming a part of the custodians of culture. Thank you.
Are there any unanimous consents? Does any senator wish to rise on a point of personal privilege? Recognize Senator from the 28th. Senator, you can come down the center aisle if it makes it easier for you.
Let me move this out the way. Okay.
Good morning, Senators. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Today is our County Marshals Day at the Capitol. And we have our marshals all from different counties that are here. Hart County, Rabun County, Cherokee County, DeKalb County, and Fulton County, just to name a few. And the leaders are standing right here. We have, I don't hope this is right. Where's Mayor Tom Reed this here? We have Councilwoman Ruby Foster. Councilwoman, I think that I have them mixed up. But anyway, they're here. Let's give them a hand. And our marshals are up there. Can you stand, please? Have they let you in? There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Today we come together to honor and express our gratitude to the county marshals and deputy marshals of the state of Georgia. These brave men and women serve with honor, dedication, and courage, ensuring that our communities remain safe and just. We thank you so much for your service. The Office of Marshals in Georgia has deep historical roots dating back to before our state's independence. In fact, marshals were the highest law enforcement officers in Georgia before the establishment of the Office of Sheriff. And I'm sure our senator from the 56th knows this very well. And this tradition highlights their integral role in maintaining law and order in our state, and their legacy continues today. Today's county marshals and deputy marshals continue to be vital in the law enforcement community. They work side by side with our county sheriffs, federal agents, and local police officers, ensuring that justice is served in all corners of the state. Their responsibilities are vast, ranging from enforcing court orders to ensuring public safety, all while maintaining the peace. Essential service to our community they give us, and we have a resolution that has already passed, SR 92, and I won't read it, but I want them to know that what happened to them? That we're very proud of them. So thank you very much for honoring these great men and women. My one and only child is living. He was Corporal Brian James. He did work with Fulton County Marshals for many years, and now he's out in Douglas County as a law enforcement person. So you know my heart goes out to the county marshals. So let's give them one more round of applause. Thank you. Mr. President, I yield the will.
Thank you, Senator, and thank you, men and women here in law enforcement, for being here today. We greatly appreciate your service to your communities and to the state. Recognize the senator from the 6th.
Thank you, Mr. President, colleagues. I am here to honor the city of Chattahoochee Hills and my colleague, the current senator from the 28th, who currently represents Chattahoochee Hills, because she can only do one point of personal privilege, asked me as the former senator from the 28th and former senator for Chattahoochee Hills, which I represented for 8 years, and we have friends from Chattahoochee Hills that are here in the gallery and on the Senate floor. We have their mayor, Tom Reed. We have Councilwoman Women Foster and Lowe, Councilman Peak, City Manager Rob Rokovitz, Portia Cross, Chip Denton, Pakaya Denton, and members and students from the Terra School. So if y'all would give them a big, warm Senate welcome. Thank y'all for being here. And we did a resolution in honoring them. And just for those of y'all that don't know, Chattahoochee Hills is a distinctive city located in the southwestern part of Fulton County, and it's renowned for its picturesque countryside and sprawling farms, offering residents and visitors from all over the state a serene retreat from the urban bustle of nearby Atlanta. And it truly is one of the prettiest areas in our entire state. I love the ride up from Noonan to Chattahoochee Hills, riding along Roscoe Road and coming in the south side there of Fulton. It truly is one of the hidden gems in this state. I highly encourage everyone to visit Chattahoochee Hills. So, Mayor, City Council, thank y'all for being here. Terra School, thank y'all for being here. And I yield the well.
All right. Thank you, Senator. Glad to have them all here, Senator. Glad to have them. Thank you for recognizing them. Senator from the 42nd, since you have such a large contingency up in the gallery.
Thank you, Mr. President. Apparently we have a large group, so big of a group up there that I get to go early so everybody can move out. Today is Newton Industry Day at the Capitol. We celebrate our businesses out in Newton County, out east, out 20. This is hosted by our Newton County Industrial Development Authority. I want to thank our sponsors, and some of folks from these companies are up here with us today. Archer, Georgia Piedmont Technical College, Meta, Piedmont Newton, Rivian, Takeda. And also on your desk, you'll see some golf balls from Bridgestone out in Newton County as we get ready for a little golf tournament next month. You also have some treats from Pop and Stop Covington on your desk. And finally, tonight across the street from 5 to 7 at the depot in the Blue Room, we're having an event, a ceremony, and a reception, I should say. And it's not a rug. Oh, and the senator from the 43rd is joining me. 43rd. We share Newton County together. But it's not a rug, but it's the second best thing, a golf towel you can go by there tonight and get. And this is what it looks like as we get ready again to celebrate a little golf tournament out east of here next month. So go by tonight from 5 to 7 at the Blue Room at the depot and get your golf towel. If not, the senator has lots of extras in her office. Okay, good. Thank you so much. If you want to recognize, please stand if you're here for Newton County Industry Day. Go ahead, big group. Thank you all for being with us.
Thank you, Senator, and glad to have all the leadership from Newton County here today. Always a pleasure. And thank you for the gifts that you brought with you today. We greatly appreciate that. Recognize the Senator from the 7th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today is Gwinnett Democrats Day, and as a proud Gwinnett Democrat, I wanted to recognize those in the gallery that are here today, and I also wanted to recognize the Gwinnett County Democratic Party for all the work that you do for our communities, and also wanted to recognize the chair of the Gwinnett Democratic Party, who is a former state senator that served in this chamber for about a decade, Chair Kurt Thompson. And I just also wanted to say, you know, you guys do so much work in our communities, informing voters and getting voters to come out and during our election time. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for all that you do, and welcome. I yield the ball.
Recognize the Senator from the 50th. I think everybody signed up for a point of personal privilege today, so everybody bear with us.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, 5 years ago, it's hard to believe, but the World Health Organization on March 11th, 2020 named COVID-19 an official worldwide pandemic. At that exact same time, I was in the delivery room with my wife, and Hazel was born. She came earlier this session. She turns 5 today, and I just want to wish her a happy birthday. And Hazel, I'll see you this afternoon. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the will.
All right, good job, Senator. Recognize the Senator from the 54th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Friends, on your desk you have a little packet for each of you from Georgia Pre-K, and I just wish for you to go through it. Today marks the pre-launch to Georgia Pre-K Week, which takes place this fall, October 6th through the 10th. To celebrate with us in the galleries today, we have representatives from the Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning and Voices for Georgia's Children and Teachers of the Year, Elizabeth Arthur from Lincoln County Elementary in Lincolnton, and Rachel Robertson from Oconee Preschool Academy in Watkinsville. If you're in the gallery, could you please rise and let us recognize you? And let's give these a round of applause for what they do for our kids. I would just tell you, to take part in the Georgia Pre-K Week is something that I have had a passion for doing. After what I've working with kids is still a passion of mine, and it's always going to be a passion of mine, but to get to go and sit down, and I always take time to sit on the floor with them, because that's when you can take away the worrisome of this big guy sitting down and reading to them. So I'll sit on the floor with them and take time to read a book to these kids in the pre-K classrooms around Georgia. It's literally a celebration of the joyful expectation of what can become of these children that are sitting here in the classroom. So I just take time and do that. The goal of the event, 2025 marks 15-year celebration of Georgia Pre-K Week. Georgia's pre-K program is a nationally recognized program that has served more than 2 million of Georgia's children since it began 32 years ago. The goal of this event is to emphasize the importance of quality early childhood education by providing opportunities for leaders to engage with Georgia pre-K classrooms and their local communities. On each of your desks, there's cookies and the fast facts about Pre-K Week, as well as fact sheets and invitations to participate in Georgia Pre-K Week this fall. Each year, we are all invited to visit with Georgia Pre-K classrooms in your districts to witness the incredible learning happening with our state's 4-year-olds. Nearly 70% of current state legislators have participated in the past, and I would just like to encourage each and every one of you that this fall, make sure that you're in a Georgia Pre-K classroom taking advantage of the opportunity provided to us. And also, we have the mascot from Georgia Pre-K with us in the gallery. And I just appreciate you, each and every one of you, taking time with our greatest asset, and those are our children. Thank you, Mr. President. I will yield the will.
All right. Thank you, Senator, and thank you for the mascot for being here today. You're looking good up there. Appreciate it, all the hard work you guys do. Recognize the Senator for the 55th. Point of personal privilege.
May I ask for some of my colleagues to join me who understand what Divine Nine means, or HBCU. Mr. Leader, would you come and stand with me? Would you, whomever, come on, please.
As a House member, breaking the rules of the Senate again. We'll let you have it this time, Senator.
Okay. Thank you, Miss. Thank you, Miss. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Leader. Thank you, Mr. President. Today, I'm so honored to stand before you at this important gathering celebrating the legacy and future of HBCUs and what is called the Divine Nine. As a proud graduate of Howard University, I know firsthand the transformative power of an HBCU education. HBCUs are more than just institutions of learning. They are pillars of excellence, resilience, leadership for our communities. As a Georgia State Senator, I'm deeply committed to advocating for equitable funding, expanding opportunities, and fostering collaborations that ensure HBCUs continue to thrive. HBCUs are the ones that are representing 3% of the colleges but produce a majority of the professionals who happen to be African American. They produce 12% of all the African American students, yet produce 23% of the African American graduates, 40% of all STEM degrees, 60% of all engineering degrees are earned by African American students at HBCUs, educate 50% of African American teachers, 40% of African Americans in health professions, 70% of all the African American dentists are from HBCUs, 58% of HBCUs offer students abroad, 50% of every lawyer you see is from an HBCU, 80% of the judges, the doctors, it goes on and on and on. We are so proud to honor the HBCU, and they were in the gallery, but today we want to honor those HBCUs who still have a very valuable place for our community. Thank you, and we honor those that are HBCUs and Divine Nine, which you welcome those that are still remaining. Some have left. But thank you so much for being here. And I would yield the well. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you, Senator. Recognize the Senator from the 1st.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm up here today to welcome the combat boots to the boardroom. If we still have anybody left up there, the combat boots to the boardroom from, if you would mind, stand, please, from all over the state, but certainly from my district, Liberty County, Bryan County, and Chatham County. This is a veteran-serving nonprofit in our coastal Georgia. Today we have veterans participating from their Prosper program, which is a 9-month leadership development program that helps veterans transition more smoothly out of the military and into civilian life. If we'd like to give them a warm Senate welcome. Thank you very much.
Recognize the Senator from the 35th. Senator from the 35th.
Apologies, Mr. President. Colleagues, this morning I rise to sound the alarm about the risks to Georgia's economy that we continue to see and that I know many of you are feeling. President Trump's trade wars, his haphazard cuts and layoffs are having real impacts on the people of our great state. For example, the reckless threats of tariffs have already caused prices to rise and the stock portfolios and 401ks of people across this state to plummet. Those tariffs, many of which are threatened and then implemented and then rescinded and then threatened again, have caused retaliatory actions from other countries on our poultry, fruit, and other agriculture products that are grown here in Georgia. We've also seen that these actions have caused a recession to loom. We've also learned that a federal grant that was helping to secure our food supply by helping school systems across Georgia buy Georgia-grown food products, that grant was pulled. Tens of millions of dollars coming here to this state from the federal government helping feed 900,000 Georgia students with Georgia-grown products, directly benefiting our farmers in this great state. Something that you would think would be universally endorsed has been pulled by the federal government without any reasoning. When you add that, when you add the fact that the government has cut thousands of jobs from key agencies across this state, these policies will have a lasting impact. But here's the thing. If you told me that we were doing this to shrink the size of government and to close the trillions of dollars that we have in a budget deficit, then the pain that Georgians are feeling could be explained. But the problem is that these cuts are a drop in the bucket, and it is all being used to support tax cuts for the rich. That's ultimately what this is about. A $4 trillion hit to our budget that won't help hardworking Georgians and instead will help billionaires across this country. Y'all, as the kids say, the math is not mathin'. And the silence amongst Georgia's leaders at the Capitol is deafening. We are here and supposed to be here to help improve the lives of hardworking people across this state, and we have a responsibility to speak up. Colleagues, I urge all of us to continue to call out these disastrous policies that are coming out of Washington, D.C., and to continue to work on common sense solutions to lower costs and improve the lives of our residents. And with that, Mr. President, I yield the well.
Recognize the senator from the 48th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, I hope they're still here. We got my mayor from Sugar Hill up top. There we are. There's my Sugar Hill people. Y'all, a lot of times we are divided. Sometimes we are all on the same page. This is one of those times. I have a few of our Gwinnett County Teachers of the Year from Sugar Hill. I'm going to recognize them by name. Anne Marie Trent at Sycamore Elementary with Principal Kelly Scarborough. Carmen Smith at Sugar Hill Elementary with Principal Nick Boyers. Catherine Duncan at Lanier Middle School with Principal Bryce Fulcher. Emily Heck at White Oak Elementary School with Principal Stacy Pickett. And Laura Wood at Lanier High with Principal Christopher Martin. Combined, these 5 teachers represent 113 years of educational experience. They have been recognized by Gwinnett County as Teachers of the Year. I honor you all, congratulate you on this amazing award, and so glad y'all are here. Thank you. I yield the well.
Recognize the leader from the 22nd.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today is HCA Day at the Capitol. As we know, hospitals play an integral role in Georgia. And one of our great hospitals that we have in Augusta is actually Doctors Hospital. And today we have their leadership team of Doctors Hospital that has been joining us today in the Capitol. Persons may have already had an opportunity to meet with them, but please join me in welcoming them today as they're also sitting in the gallery, our leadership team from Doctors Hospital. Thank you, Mr. President. And with that, Mr. President, I yield the well.
Thank you, Senator. And we save the best for last, the Dean of the Senate, Senator from the 15th.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I rise today to acknowledge the green caps on your desk today from Columbus, Georgia, city of 2,000 population. and always grateful for the great work you do here in the Georgia Senate and appreciative of the things that we do here to assist our various counties and cities in the state, especially Columbus, Georgia. Visit Columbus, Georgia, the longest urban lake. Shoot those rapids down there. Go enjoy yourself. On the riverfront there, we have Naval Museum there, Civil War Naval Museum there, as well as the National Infantry Museum there as well. So come back, Columbus, Georgia, enjoy yourself. But in the meantime, enjoy your green caps. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the well.
All right. Thank you, Senator. I'm glad it's Columbus Day. Always good to be Columbus Day. All right, that brings us to the end of the points of personal privilege today. Senator from the 12th, you didn't want to give a point of personal privilege? Oh, you do? Oh, okay, come on. I was joking, but hey, I always like to hear from the senator from the 12th.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Colleagues, let us welcome the 5th grade students from Deerfield Windsor Preparatory School via Albany, Georgia. They are ably chaperoned by Deerfield parents and especially my dear friend, Appeals Court Judge Ken Hodges. Thank you for coming. I think they've already left the gallery, but we still want to acknowledge them as well. Thank you so much. I would yield the well, Mr. President. Thank you.
Glad to have them. See, Senator, that was just divine intervention right there. You weren't even signed up, and I just knew you had something on your heart you need to talk about. All right. You have before you a consent calendar of privilege resolutions. Does any senator wish to remove a resolution from the consent calendar? Is there objection to the adoption of the resolution on the consent calendar? Chair hears none. The resolution on the consent calendar is adopted. Are there any motions to withdraw or recommit? All right, moving on to the rules calendar. Secretary Reed, House Bill 287.
House Bill 287 by Representative Rose, the 124th, and others. Bill 2010 to amend Code Section 12-2-2 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated related to Environmental Protection Division, Environmental Advisory Council, duties of council and its members and director, appeal procedures generally, permit applications and inspections, so as to update the reference dates to standards, rules, and regulations, to amend Title 27 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated related to game and fish, so as to update the reference dates and rules and regulations, to amend Code Section 52-7-26 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated related to penalties, so as to update the reference dates to rules and regulations, to provide for related matters, to repeal conflicting laws, and for other purposes. Mr. President, the Senate Committee on Natural Resources and the Environment recommends that this bill do pass. Respectfully submitted, Senator Anderson, Chairman. That completes the order, Mr. President.
Recognize the senator from the 24th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Dear colleagues, I bring you House Bill 287. It's simply a department bill, changing it from the year 24 to the year 25. But DNR has done a few improvements. One is that we've made it where the youth, that young people that's under the age of 16 can go hunting, and also special turkey hunting in the spring. If they're under 16, they don't have to pay for a license. Also, the shellfish industry, we've made it to where it's just more simpler on getting their permits. But listen to me, senators. One thing that the DNR has done, and I want you to go home and think about all your people back home in your district. But DNR has purchased right at 20 wheelchairs that's on tracks. So any person that's paralyzed in the state of Georgia does not have to buy a hunting or fishing license. And also, anyone that's outside of the state can also get a hunting and fishing license for free. Just ask you to vote for this bill. It's a great bill for the great people of the state of Georgia. And also, let's get out of here so we can go trout fishing this afternoon at 2 o'clock. I yield the will. Any questions?
Amen. Amen. Does any other senator wish to speak for or against the measure? Chair hears none. Is there objections to the previous question being ordered? Chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which is favorable to the passage of the bill? Chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Is there objection to the main question being ordered? Chair hears none. The main question is ordered. Question is on the passage of the bill. All those in favor of the bill will vote yea. Opposed, nay. Secretary, unlock the machine. On the passage of the bill, the yeas are 50, the nays are 0. This bill having received the requisite constitutional majority is therefore passed. Recognize Secretary, please read H.R. 97.
House Resolution 97 by Representative Greeno, 154th, and others. Resolution authorizing the conveyance of certain state-owned property located in Bryan County, Colquitt County, Fulton County, Glenn County, Habersham County, Hall County, and Henry County. Authorizing the lease of certain state-owned property located in Cherokee County, Effingham County, Hall County, Miller County, Sumter County, and Tatnall County. Authorizing the exchange of certain state-owned property located in Clark County to provide for an effective date, to provide for related matters, to repeal conflicting laws, and for other purposes. Mr. President, the Senate Committee on State Institutions and Property recommends that this resolution do pass by substitute. Respectless minutes, Senator Harbison, Chairman. Mr. President, the Senate Committee on State Institutions and Property offers the following substitute to House Resolution 97, a resolution authorizing the conveyance of certain state-owned property located in Bryan County, authorizing the lease of certain state-owned property located in Cherokee County, and for other purposes. Mr. President, that completes the order.
Recognize the senator from the 15th.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is one of the two of the department bills for the State Institutions and Property Committee. It was presented to us by the CEO over there, and it has fairly routine things in it, as you can see on your desk. One of the counties I want to point out to you is involving Glenn County, and I believe it was adequately explained at the time that this was something that had been contested by New Glen Hope, 1043, and it was currently in the courts being mitigated at that time, and it was a dispute between a private entity and that Glen New Hope, and that will be mitigated by the courts. And as I think let me make sure I say this right. This resolution authorized the State Property Commission to quit claim this property to Glen New Hope for consideration. Glen New Hope will transfer 20% of each credit release granted from the mitigation bank and other consideration. I want to explain that part because that was probably the only complicated piece of this legislation. Mr. President, I yield the well unless there are questions.
You have no questions, Senator.
Thank you.
Does any other senator wish to speak for or against the measure? Chair hears none. Is there objection to the previous question being ordered? Chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Question is on the adoption of the committee substitute. Is there objection to the adoption of the committee substitute? Hearing none, the committee substitute is adopted. Is there objection to agreeing to the report of committee which is favorable to the passage of adoption of the resolution? Chair hears none, and the report of the committee is agreed to. Is there objection to the main question being ordered? Chair hears none, the main question is ordered. Questions on the adoption of the resolution by substitute. All those in favor of the resolution will vote yea, opposed nay. Secretary, unlock the machine. On the adoption of the resolution by substitute, the yeas are 49 and the nays are 0. This resolution, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore adopted by substitute. Secretary, please read H.R. 98.
House Resolution 98, Representative Green, the 154th and others, a resolution authorizing the granting of non-exclusive easements for the construction, installment, operation, and maintenance of facilities, utilities, roads, and ingresses and egresses in, on, over, under, upon, across, and through property owned by the state of Georgia in Barrow, Bryan, Chatham, Cherokee, Coweta, Fulton, Harrelson, Lamar, McDuffie, Paulding, Walker, and Walton counties, to provide for later matters, to provide for an effective date, to repeal conflicting laws, and for other purposes. Mr. President, the Senate Committee on State Institutions and Property recommends that this resolution do pass by substitute. Respectfully submitted, Senator Harbison, Chairman. Mr. President, the Senate Committee on State Institutions and Properties offers the following substitute to House Resolution 98, a resolution authorizing the granting of non-exclusive easements for the construction, installment, operation, and maintenance of facilities, utilities, roads, and ingresses and egresses on, over, under, upon, across, and through property owned by the state of Georgia, and for other purposes. Mr. President, that completes the order.
Senator from the 15th, 3 times in one day, Senator. It must be Columbus Day.
Cooking with gas, that's right. Thank you, Mr. President. In this resolution, like the last one, authorization of easements on state-owned property is very simple. It describes in detail the property being affected, the easement being authorized, the intended recipient of the easement, and various terms for each easement as it is on your desk. There are no questions, Mr. President. I yield the well. Thank you.
You have no questions. Senator from the 33rd. Does any other senator wish to speak for or against the measure? Chair hears none. Is there objection to the previous question being ordered? Chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Questions on the adoption of the committee substitute. Is there objection to the adoption of the committee substitute? Hearing none, the committee substitute is adopted. Is there objection to agreeing to the report of committee which is favorable to the adoption of the resolution? Chair hears none. The report of committee is agreed to. Is there objection to the main question being ordered? Chair hears none. The main question is ordered. Questions on the adoption of the resolution by substitute. All those in favor of the resolution will vote yea. Opposed, nay. Secretary, unlock the machine. On the adoption of the resolution, by substitute, the yeas are 49, the nays are 0. This resolution, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore adopted by substitute. All right. Recognize the majority leader for a motion.
Mr. President, I ask for unanimous consent that Senate Rule 3.1.2, Paragraph C, be suspended to allow for the receipt and assignment of House Bill 68, the fiscal year 26 appropriations bill.
Senator has moved. Is there objection? Recognize the majority leader for another motion.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate stand in recess pending receipt of a message from the House, and that upon receipt of said message and assignment of House Bill 68, the Senate stand adjourned pursuant to Senate Resolution 6 until 10 a.m. on Thursday, March 13th.
Is there objection? Without objection, we will stand in recess. Secretary, read the announcements.
Mr. President, the Rules Committee will meet upon recess in room 450 in the Capitol. At 1 p.m., the Children and Families Committee will meet in room 307 in the CLOB. At 1 p.m., the Retirement Committee will meet in 310 in the CLOB. At 2 p.m., MARTOC will meet in room 506 in the CLOB. At 3 p.m., the Insurance and Labor Committee will meet in MES 1. At 3 p.m., the Higher Education Committee will meet in room 307 in the CLOB. And at 4 p.m., the Regulated Industries and Utilities Committee will meet in room 450 in the CLOB. Mr. President, that completes the order.
Any other announcements? Senator from the 14th, we didn't hear from you today. No announcements? It's just not the same. All right, stand in recess.